So, the Frostpunk is going to be my next streaming project. This is totally the first time I said this. I did not quit out of the game by accident. So, as I was saying, as I definitely wasn't saying before, the basic gist of this, we are going to be playing through the main story and then following it up with the last expansion, which follows straight after it. Are we recording? Yes, we are. So, without further ado, let's get started. We're not going to customize the scenario, just gonna dive straight in.
We roam the still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped of pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We've lost our world to snow, and with it, our last traces of humanity. We bid farewell to plenty, and for those who remained came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope that pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step. We knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
We fled from London and crossed the sea to reach the frozen north. On the way, the convoy was hit by a blizzard and was scattered. A handful of us managed to reach the site of this generator, only to find it frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst, now the world as we know it has crumbled. Well, nothing else for it. I have to dive straight in. Right, basic gist of this game. We need, if you see all these little guys roaming around here, we have Agnes here. All of 80 people all around here. We need to keep them alive, because currently it is -20, and the longer you go through this game, the more you're going to grow to love this low number, and the more you're going to hate these little things. And basically, if I just quickly go over the GUI. Down here we have our main objective, which is to not freeze to death. This is our build menu. This is the Book of Laws, we'll get to that in a second. This is the economy tab, of which we can examine basically how well everything isn't doing. This is a count of all the people we have, and currently we have 3 different types. We have workers, which are your average Joe. Let's find one of these people. There you go, Field or Berkeley. You look happy. Yeah, they're your general everyday bloke. You stick them in the building and they will do stuff for you. We have engineers, which are workers but actually clever, and you can put them in even more places, like for research and stuff like that. And we have children. These are small workers, or people who shouldn't be working, depending on what sort of person you are. Now, if you will excuse me, I need to jump behind the scenes, make sure everything is recording properly. Stream mods. Cool, looks good. Let's jump in. But before we do, I want to show off a little something called NVIDIA Ansel. This is a little plugin available for a bunch of games that basically gives you a really good camera. So let's just quickly fly down, it's a bit jittery, and take a nice close look at all the people we're trying to keep alive. Oh, you think it's gonna snow, eh? Nah, yeah, we'll be fine. Let's have a quick look at all of them. If we jump over here, we can see some little sprugs. Look at them. So cute. And we dive out. Have a look at the generator in all its glory. Let's get in low for this one. And since we're here, well, if you've ever seen my Frostpunk? No, you're watching it now. If you've ever seen patches of my No Man's Sky playthrough, you know I love to take pictures. So, here's a thumbnail. There we go. I'll try to remember where to use that. But anyway, let's get started by plopping down some houses. Because these people, well, they're not going to be content with sitting about out in the freezing cold with basically their own hats to keep them warm. So we need to grab wood because we've got sod all at the moment. So there's a few crates. Let's plop some workers on there. There's a bit more here. Plop some more on then. And now we need to start picking up coal to switch this on. Plop some people on that. Currently our engineers have nothing to bear to do, so they're going to play with the steel. And these leftover 5, grab some coal. And currently we have 80 homeless. Various little icons will pop up down the bottom here. Will basically tell you what problems there are in your city at the moment and what you need to fix. So let's unpause. Watch them all go about their business. Oh. Alrighty. If you'll give me a quick second, I will switch off those tutorials. Because I don't know about you, but I kind of, sort of, know how to play this game. I've beaten the main scenario once. That's it. Oh, and every so often during the game, these little thingies will pop up, and they will count down. If they count down, people will get very pissed off at you, because you are playing as the big old captain the big cheese, biggest cheese of these areas, of this little place. So this lot is telling us that we need more workers. And so, the logical course of action is to put children to do it. And this will take us straight into the Book of Law. This is how we get stuff done, basically. How we change up how the city works for better. Well, almost always for better, but always at a cost. So if we take a look, one of these buttons we can press immediately. We can sign something that says, we can put it onto a workplace and say, you lot in this building are working for the next 24 hours, whether you like it or not. People tend not to like that. Right up here, we can immediately decide whether to put children into work or start building little buildings to stick them in during the day, so you don't run around and get crushed by stuff like children will want to do. Down here we can decide what to do with the dead bodies we find that just happened to turn up in the city through absolutely no fault of our own. We can either stick them in the cemetery or in the snow. And as you see, each of these options, these dual choices we have, these all fork off into completely different laws we can sign. So, looking at this one super quick, we have ceremonial funerals underneath, which we can only sign if we go for the cemetery. And likewise, we have to sign corpse disposal before going for organ transplants, because people tend not to be too keen on you just opening up someone's grave and nicking old Aunt Mary's heart. Like, it's not as if she's using it, mind. But still, down here, we have the option of what to do with the sick. We can resort for harsh treatment, which makes sure that they don't... I'll get onto the types available later on. We have the option of opening up a fighting arena to keep everyone happy, or sorting out what we do with the food sources. So we can choose to turn all our food into soup, which will piss people off, or add soy sauce to it, which will make them sick. But for now, in my previous run, I went straight for child labour as my first resort, so I am going to sign up for child shelters.
A new law has passed.
Indeed. And in addition to signing the law, we now have an obligation to make a child shelter. So, in like 3 days, just under 3 days, we have to build one, or people aren't going to be best pleased with us. But we kind of need just something to put people in, like regular shelters. Oh, fireworks. So let's, as we watch everyone go about their business. Oh, lots of fireworks outside today. We can get a very close look at what they're doing down here. So this lot are, like, in their infinite efficiency, they've managed to put down a burning barrel before they've even got to the woodpile. And so these people are going to spend their day picking up all this wood until it runs out. This lot are going to start picking up all this coal. Oh my, there's a lot of fireworks. I think that's coming from next door, actually. Do excuse me. Oh my goodness. Gonna crank down my gain for that. So sorry. This lot are gonna. Do we have anybody playing around in steel? Nope. Cool. For now, we've got people picking up all this gold. This little pop-up's telling us to pick up about 200. Before we could turn this thingy on. And we have options, various deposits for when these little gathering spots run out. So we have a coal deposit up here, an iron ore deposit up there. We'll get into that at some stage. For now, I'm going to switch off my phone because it keeps buzzing at me. There we go. I think the fireworks have stopped now, so I can bring my game back up. And now I'm holding off on making houses for now because I want to make sure everyone's busy. You lot, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take these 10 engineers off, and now they've stopped working on that, I'm going to set them to start building a few houses. Oh no, scratch that last one. So how building works is that you plop down basically a scaffold in each building, and any workers you have that are either on their way to a job or are completely idle will immediately turn over and start building up some of these. And basically we need, everything has their own costs, so this one costs about 10 wood for us to start building it. This thingy costs 20 wood and 5 steel for us to even put it down. But you see I'll put one off here. If we go over here and cancel construction, we get all 10 of our wood back, and we'll leave a nice little hole in the snow. And you will see we have heating levels to deal with as well. So these little temperature icon up here, that's not just for show. If I open this up, oh no, crank my volume up a little bit, but you can see just how cold it is at this moment in time. Currently the world around us is a chilly 20 degrees. Anyone having to work and live in this temperature will probably catch a cold or something, but they'll be probably fine in a livable temperature. Ideally we want to have red temperatures in, well, anywhere people happen to be, but that's not always achievable. And as you can see, a little bit of foreshadowing in the GUI. I'll cover those when they become relevant. So, and I also want to build up one of these shelters. Let's pop it right behind the stockpile. And so, this will be fine here because if we check the heating level, whatever, every single building by default will start, their heat level will be exactly the same as what temperature it is currently. With a heating level of 1, these little houses, when they finish building, will end up at the exact same temperature. Oh no, not the exact same temperature. These will end up at the livable temperature. Well, this thing has a heat level of 2, it'll end up red and comfortable. So all those kids, they're going to sit in there, they're going to be nice and happy, and won't catch a cold or limbs will fall off. And also, another part of building stuff, we need to build the roads to it. So people, for whatever reason, they won't trudge through the dirt to get to their tent. No, no, no. You need a street to get there. So that takes a handful of wood. Run the street. Just needs to barely graze the corner at least. And now all these houses are connected to a generator. People can find them now. And start using them. There we go. These little icons that have popped up, they now tell us that they don't yet have a street, but the street's being built for them. And if you'll excuse me, I have to take a really early intermission because I need to sort out a few bits. I'll be back in a second. There we go, all sorted out. So for the time being, it's about 5 o'clock in the evening, afternoon. You can tell because the sun is slowly setting. You can just about see the shadow of the crater slowly creeping along. In addition to all of these things,
Workday ends. It's time off.
there we go. Now with at about 6 o'clock every evening, everyone is scheduled to stop work unless they're in like a forced shift. And basically everyone is free to do whatever they need to do. That goes for, say, just building stuff, really. And talking about building stuff, we need to plop down a medical post to heal any sick people that happen to turn up. And we also need a cookhouse to find food for everyone, so we don't all starve to death. I don't want it there though, because if I check this, it's a healing level of 1. Now you see the little rectangular outline gets a bit bigger when I get this close to the generator. So ideally I don't want to put it there, I want to put it either 1 or 2 up. So about there-ish would be perfect, or here, but if I have a moss down, you can see this little area here. That may seem quite small, but that little blip there might come to bite us in the arse another day. So I want to figure out what to do with that. Would it be worth moving 1, 2 up and putting it here? Check the heating level. Heating 1. That can live there. This can fall off. And cookhouse. I will put you here. Oh, actually scratch that. Fiddle it all out again. I want a cookhouse here, and I would like the medical post here, right next to the generator, because everything right here is going to get a little heating bonus when I switch this on. Just like that. The generator hums with reassuring warmth, but we can't take it for granted. If it goes down, everyone dies. So basically, this thing generates warmth, is the very, very first source of warmth. So if we press this button, it'll shut down and slowly cool off. So let's just quickly turn it back on. If we now check the temperature, now that's up and running. Everything in this little circle goes up by one heat stage. It goes for these two houses, and, well, the stockpiles, and this medical post, importantly. This thing is perfectly fine just the way it is. The cookhouse is livable at the moment, just on the edge. But now this is all up and running. We need to fill up some more houses. So we need some tents. Let's put us 1, 2 there. There we go, now all of those are connected. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 houses. Each of these house 10 people. We do not have enough wood for any more, unfortunately. So those last 10 are going to have to be safe and content with just sitting about the generator for tonight, unfortunately. But with that, all these kids are now safe and secure in these child shelters. So during the day, oh, everyone's running to have a look at it. No, they're all running into the storehouse for something. No, they're all going in here. What are they doing? Hang on. I need to see this. What are you all doing in there? There's... oh. There's like 2. Oh, they really want to get in these stockpiles. Ooh. Oh, that place is the hottest place in town right now. For more than one reason. Oh, now this medical post is finished building. We can see here that it needs to put some engineers in. So, from the 10 we have free, we put 5 in. We now have 5 people ready to treat any sick that happen to turn up. And the remaining 5 would be more than happy to start building some of these. Unless I tell them to stop building this. In which case, 20 people will be without shelter for tonight, but we can make an early start on research. These are the sorts of decisions you have to make in this game. Unfortunately. And here is a tough one. I seem to be offline, according to my stream system. Nope. Nope, it seems fine. I'm gonna crank you down a little bit. Just a smidgen. There we go, sorry about that. As for this lot, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to cancel this. We get all 10 wood back from this. If we try to deconstruct some of this, we only get 8 wood back. but it's something I feel I need to do because I want to get this thing set up and plopped right next to the generator. Now we've used all of our wood. Everyone's gonna run over to start putting this together, and ideally want to pay attention to the time as we do it, because we don't want all these people working all night to get all this set up. And now the cookhouse is finished working, we need to plop some people in there. So there's 5 workers on the steel at the moment. Search 1. We need to turn all of this into food. So I find that very few people need to work in here to work all this food. So let's plop 2 people in. They are going to be building. They are going to be making 4 rations of food from 2 of these little mutton pieces. So from all of this, we're going to get about 200 rations, which will feed us for about 2 days. And now this is finished building. We've plopped the remaining 5 engineers in here, and we can start researching. So this is the meat of where we try to... the meat of the game, where we really make an effort to fight off the storm, the cold even. So in these 4 tabs we have a variety of different things we can get. A variety of different upgrades, such as better hunting equipment, or the ability for buildings to gather stuff faster, massive factories, a big old balloon that allows us to start scavenging the wilderness for stuff, and these things. We're going to be building a lot of these going forwards, and unfortunately it would seem everything is costing wood to build, so at the moment we can't make anything. But while we're here, we can start planning out what we want to do next. So this we'll cover this in a second. For now, I want to start on this when we have the wood to do it, because that faster gathering. If we take a look in here, resources. Resource depots are just storage buildings to extend our storage of these. So you can see the little yellow bars at the bottom will tell us how full our storage depot is. We plop one of these down, we can extend one of these little yellow bars. And gathering posts. In a small area around these little buildings, people work in them and will go out and start picking up stuff from the terrain around. So if we plop one about here-ish, they can go out and just start grabbing all of this crap. And with that, the cooldown on this has expired, so we can now bring in a whole new law. And since we have child shelters set up, we can start putting the kids to work in a way that doesn't break the law. It doesn't break morality. So we have the option of medic apprentices, wherein the little sprugs will help out in the medical post. I believe about 5 or so will go into each medical post. So one child shelter can help out with 3 of them, and they'll just help keep everything clean and give a little bonus to their efficiency. They can heal people quicker. Or we can go for engineer apprentices, which they'll run about with all the hammers and help us get stuff researched faster, which, having this early on, is incredible. Like, before we've even started researching stuff, is extremely good. So I'm going to have engineer apprentices.
Hear me, hear me. New law in the city.
There we go. Time for them to start earning their keep. In nice, safe, warm places. So now there's not very much happening. It's just coming up on 6 AM. I'm going to take this moment to take my jumper off. It is now dawn of the second day. Everyone's up bright and early, especially the people sleeping around the generator because they have no other option. And at about this sort of time, we'll find out how many people got sick the day before. Because each of these people running around, such as, well, Harold Rains, for example, the game follows what he and every other person does during their day.
There's plenty to do.
There is plenty to do. And during this time, it records every single temperature area he runs through. So, he's walking through a chilly zone, he's spent the night in, hopefully, a comfortable zone, and he's going to be working all day in a chilly zone. That leaves him with a fairly low risk of getting ill. So you do a good day picking up gold. If we check here, mouse over this will give us a rough estimate of how much coal we have left. We pay attention, we're slowly building up more of a stockpile against the generator's efforts. Everyone in here, we have 3 patients. These two didn't have shelter. So that was the cost of building this workshop. So we better get a start on this. And while they're building, the little gathering post I mentioned earlier has this little area spreading out from it. So if we try to find a place with 3 things, get it there but as close to the generator as possible. So there-ish. We plop that down, build a road out when we have enough wood. So we need from it about there's a road there. We need 8 wood before we can build that road. 6, 7, 8. Now that's finished. We can unassign all of these from the wood crates. Build this road straight away. 7 people are going to work on this building. The rest are going to work on the road out. And the main benefit of building these things is, in addition to being able to gather from these little patches, they do it much quicker than just sitting next to it and gathering it. But they also get a little heat bonus. So no matter whether they're having to trek out like a few meters away, they're still going to be working in a livable place. So, it's always good to put one of those down. I should probably have another one down around here-ish. Oh, if we have a look around, it seems that's the only place we can get 3 different pickup points. Yeah, well, we also see a bunch of these little trees about. Those will come in useful later. Oh. And with that, we have 2 little pop-ups. Let's have a look at this one first. It looks more urgent. A woman has come forwards after we finished the workshop and said that she's the only person of her family to make it to the city. Oh dear. we will do what we can. She is telling us that basically we need to work on building, if I can check super quick, the beacon. And we can theoretically start it now, but if we swap it off from here, not only would we lose the 10 wood we put in, but we'd also lose all progress towards it. So people evidently just shred all the notes they made on it, just ditch in the generator, instead of, you know, keeping it to hand in case we go back to it. But also, we have this little thingy. A note of thanks. Ah, it's a thank you note. Thanks for not making our children work in the blistering cold. They just have to help out here instead. And because of that, we raised hope a little bit. These 2 bars are going to be very important to pay attention to. This will tell us the rough mood of our city. Discontent is how pissed off they are. The higher that goes up, the more problems they'll start making. And hope is how resistant to despair they are. At the moment, everything is going well, despite the eternal winter. Oh, this lot are spending some of the workday getting this built up, but that is perfectly fine. They did have to bring up the did have to start building up the resources to make it. But when that finishes up, hopefully before 2 PM, so they can get some use out of it, eventually it's going to pop into existence just like that. Pause the game, we can put 10 workers in. They're all going to head out to pick up all that, pretty much faster than what they could do by hand. And we would like some more wood, so I'm going to leave all this to it, and let's see. This is a measurement of the current efficiency of the building. So at the moment, 9 people are going for lunch. So this building is only going to run at 10% efficiency, unfortunately, for a little while. That should be alright for the most part. I don't need to put anyone on these things because this is managing it. Let's go to economy. Have a look at this. With all the coal we're gathering up, we could start building up a little stockpile. So basically, if the top little marker is in the red, that's a problem. This is a measurement of how much we're gathering. So all of this lot, the 5 leftovers, can go start working on where I left these engineers. Nope, that's a coal pile. I want you to start working on these crates. And also this, because I want to get these 2 out of the way, so I can start expanding the city in that sort of direction. Oh, smokestack out of the way. To start building it up around here. Oh, let's just take a quick look at these snowdrifts. It's absolutely beautiful game. Just the way they've not only modelled the snow textures in all these little drifts as well, but the little trowel, the little trenches that the people leave when they go to and from these little gathering points are just so pretty. I'm gonna start recording this because
Hear me, new law in the city.
Because I'm slightly forgetful when it comes to that. People are gonna talk about it. There we go. A wise decision, indeed. We can use the right mouse button to move gently. We can also use the arrow keys to push the camera away and snap back. Push it away, snap back. Hee. come on. Start up the day. Yeah, work starts at 8 for this lot. Come on, hurry up. Oh, they're already making their way out. Cool. Very efficient.
Move, people. There's plenty to do.
Gonna wait for this to hit 10 once more. Gonna stop and let's grab fast gathering. This will come in very useful throughout the game. And now we're out of wood. Great. Not too big of a concern. Too big of a concern. Here we go, we've hit barely scratching 10 AM and we're already 50% done. It's a very good lot. Very good work for this lot. Everyone is very busy today. Oh, people are getting mildly annoyed because there is a lack of shelter. We can fix that. Popping down one house I want to follow. I want to pop one down there. Wait for this to get back up to 10. Oh, just hit 14. That's fine. I want to follow this guideline. There. I want to keep this space open for something. And we need a road for it. Fortunately, we waited just long enough to get some extra wood for it. Let's check this out. Coal is doing well. We need to start thinking about food rations and grabbing more of them. Oh, here we go. Here's our two scenarios. There's this one, once more. You're going to tell us that the rest of your family is stuck out there somewhere. We can do that. This is the thank you note. Thank you very much. Get a smidgen of hope for that. 3 people are being treated. 2 of those are the people we left out in the cold overnight. Whoops. This is sparking away. Nearly 60% done already. Excuse me. This has nobody on it. I guess in the meantime, I can talk a little bit about this thing here, steam cores. Some various buildings in this game will use some of these things in their building. We can only find so many of these during the game. We cannot make them in here. But we will find a few of them. Some of them will turn up every so often. And let's just have a look through here. We want to build one of these. Thankfully the game pauses, and these things are pretty funky because they need 15 people to work in them, but they don't actually work in them. So we just stick this right out in the cold somewhere, and people won't mind too much about it. So let's say adjacent to this sort of line, I want to draw a roady road. Pause again. I'm going to draw out a road here. This little gathering post is going to go on one side. Oh, actually, we can test it out now. Resources. gathering post, 15 wood. Just make sure it'll fit on one side. There we go. Let us find the hunter's hut. This lot will go out and just pick up food for everyone. We can just plop it there. And with that, faster gathering has been researched. When we eventually put down the little gathering post, people will gather from it a lot quicker. And now that's done, we can have a look at getting something else up. So we poke this here, start that up. When that finishes, hunters will start bringing in even more food, which is all very nice. And I believe we can start work on the gathering post as well. We can put it right up in here. There's currently nobody working on these at the moment because they're already busy doing other stuff. But just wait for it to tick over into free time momentarily. In the meantime, let's just give a once over of what else we have. Oh, we can put down another one of these if we so desire. We don't have anything currently. Oh, pile of wood crates is gone. We can zoom over. There are no more wood crates in here, and that leaves us with 15 people to plop into places. So, put some people on this one. It's a bit chilly, but that's fine. Can put some people on the steel as well. Oh, actually, quickly check. We can't get all three of these in one collector range. Ah well. No matter. What we can do is we can start working on another workshop. Gonna put that right there. And these, well, now 13 loose people are gonna start working on the coal. Get up a nice big old stockpile.
Gather your tools. The shift is ending.
Or at least until the end of the day. In which case they're gonna all go out, start building up stuff. We are 32% of the way to the next bit of tech. Get right back into it for the third time. Here we go, bring up the main screen again. Here we go. Bitrate is doing reasonably fine. Oh, these are slowly getting put together. And that's almost done. Oh, we need to scrounge up some more engineers. Oh, we can check on it. See where they're all hiding. Oh, there's 5 on it. Let's grab them off here. And now that's finished building up. We can put these in for a potential research bonus of altogether 130%. That's with all 2 buildings working, fully staffed, with the bonus from the kids. Oh, these 2 are going to finish up. And now we have the basic resources sorted out. Once this is finished building, we can set up a beacon and start going out into the wider world. Start grabbing people. For now, let's just check these out. We have wood crates, wood and steel. I want this lot off of steel and this lot off of wood. For 23 people, I want this lot in here. And I want that filled to the brim, because I want that food stockpile, please. Thank you very much. These 10 people are probably what's keeping this from switching off, so they're going to stay in there for now. And oh, let's bring my microphone down a little bit. There we go. A little bit closer so you can hear me a little bit easier. The city is almost done. Well, day's almost is over already. Let's just quickly zip over to morning. At least I have don't have enough wood for any more plans. All of our engineers are busy. We only need the 2 people in it, because already they've used up pretty much all this raw food and turned it all into lovely, lovely food. Very tasty. You went to prepare the food. That's okay. I think you missed another crash. It's all good now. It wasn't a power cut for the second time round. It was an internet blip that resulted in OBS falling over itself. Let's speed up a little bit. There we go, 5 AM the next day. We have enough food to last us the rest of the day. And hopefully this lot are going to come back in. When that fills up, get an extra 15 food. That will translate into about 30 odd rations, which is a little less than what we actually need. We may need to start sorting out expeditions at this point, just to start getting more people, to finding more people, bring them in, and then start sending them straight back out to start picking up food. Hello. What's this? Oh, hang on. There's a little crane structure here. Huh. Wonder how that got there. Oh, there we go.
Get going. Time to earn your bread.
Here we go. Work time is starting up again. We have a scheduled temperature drop of 2 levels. That does not look like fun. For now, I'm going to pull out one guy from here. The one guy left in here will be more than enough to deal with the workload he's got. Gonna put the extra guy in here. Start picking up all that lovely stuff. And we have 11 wood now. What can we do with it? Nothing currently. That is 7 hours from cooling down. Everyone is housed, everyone is fed. This is almost done. This will make sure we can get, how much? Ooh, up to 20. That's pretty good. Second that finishes, gonna pause the game, start looking for the beacon. Although, if we have a look at this, if we have a look at the temperature, if that's going to drop 2 levels, these things are going to drop to cold. So we have another decision to make. Do we rush the... no. This is at... We've already started work on it. Should be alright for the time being. Unfortunately, these houses here are going to get cold. Like, very cold. Not that very cold, just that cold. So I'm hoping these engineers are going to be able to get all this done and then make a start on the next project and sort that out for the morning. In the meantime, we have 100 food exactly. Oh, not exactly at all. Scratch that. There is nobody that needs work. There are 2 people in the medbay. 10 people wandering about out here. I want them working on the coal stockpile because once the weather drops, it's going to be a bit harder for them to pick all that up. Especially considering, well, it'll get really fucking cold out there. Oh, 66%. Come on. Aha! A coal pile's vanished. That one there. What do we do with that lot now? Oh, that gives us 15 people. You know what I'm going to do? They're going to go straight into another hut. Going to immediately start working on that, and then they're going to head out. It's going to be less people to worry about during the nights. And we'll be even on food production. For now that that's vanished, if we take a look at economy, yeah, we are at a slight deficit on coal. That looks like a minor issue. But we have a stockpile of about 3 days. So we should be relatively fine. Well, provided I believe that it figures out that figures out how much coal we have left, like the duration, if we just stop collecting it all right now and just leave this to run. And talking about production, the beacon's finally ready. We're going to leave that for now because I want to immediately start work on this. Those are going to be very important for us. How are you doing? Oh, and this is finished up, so we can boop this and see what else we can do. Here, we can start introducing little arenas to help people be less discontent. But we're not really worried about discontent at the moment, thankfully. Nope, that's the tech tree. I want the law tree. It's gonna get cold pretty soon, so I want to start worrying about what we do for treatment. So we have the option of radical treatment. Basically, every time someone gets ill, if it's really cold, there's a chance that they'll get gravely ill, which it's not very good. They can die from being gravely ill and not being treated. And if they're ill, like regular ill, and they're not treated for long enough, then they get gravely ill. So at the moment, we can't treat them. with just the medical posts. I sign radical treatment, I can start treating them, but they might lose like a limb or something. If I boop sustain life, we won't treat the gravely ill, but they will take up a post in the medical bay. What I'm going to do is going to go for radical treatment.
Listen, everyone. New law is signed.
Renaud, hello. How are you today?
End of shift.
Oh,
Go rest all you can.
go rest, everyone. Go back. Have a nice sleep. Apart from these 15 people, you're going out to hunt. Hope you enjoy the cold. Well, I hope you enjoy the colour white. Because there's a whole lot of it to deal with. Cool, there's an ocean out there. That's not an ocean. Do I have some experience with US subs? I assume, is that submarines? Oh, 688. I think that's a 688 submarine combat sub. That was a submarine simulator game for the Sega Mega Drive. I played that a lot back when I was a small bean. And yeah, I felt it might be worth putting that up for the Final Fantasy name contest. The name of that new submarine. You'll sort it out. LA class, fast attack? I assume so. You're just curious. That's fine. Oh. Come on. Come on, you're at 24%. Like, can't you just stick around for like a few hours or so? Ah, that's too much to ask. That's alright. This lot gonna bring in 20 a day. This lot also gonna be bring in 20 food again. And that'll mean we get a total of 40 food income. Probably should have another guy in here to help cook it all up. That's gonna translate to 80 food rations. And that's gonna break us even with the amount of people we have to feed. And I seem to be offline again. Yep, that's my internet falling over. I'm gonna... Oh no, that's gonna leave this going for a little bit. So I try to fix things up. Oh no, internet's back. My goodness, Virgin is not happy with me today. I'm offline again. At least OBS hasn't crashed, at least. That's good to see. Oh, it's back up. It should be back up. I have a bitrate of 3,820. And now it's offline again. Oh boy. Yeah, thanks internet. Oh my goodness. Gonna have to switch to just watching my own channel, because Stream Manager is not playing well. Oh, there we go, we're live. I think we're live. Yep, certainly seems to be like it. If I bring the camera over. There we go. Yeah, we're live. Can I... Yep, Stream Manager's back up again. Good job, internet. So in the meantime, as internet fell over, nothing happened. I was just waiting for the day to tip over. Oh, we currently have three ill people. They're all perfectly fine and in treatment. Let's speed up to the next day. Oh, it's 4 now. Whoops. Oh, we can keep going like this for a while. Here we go. And I believe as soon as we hit 7 o'clock,
Bundle up. It's getting colder.
the temperature will drop to -40. That's a tad chilly, if I may say so. And also as a consequence, the cookhouse is going to get cold. Since this is cold, it is not going to be able to cook any of this food. That's another network error. Nope, that's fine. And my stream monitor has gone down again. Really? Oh, this is... No, everything looks fine on my end. So for the sake of the VOD, if it gets too cold, the cookhouse will stop cooking stuff. And the people working here, because they're working in very cold temperatures, they're going to have a low risk of becoming gravely ill. That is not fun. The people in here are just plain old cold. They should be fine for the time being. Oh, stream's back up. Hooray! And we're back. So, now we're back up. Just have a look here. I want to move these people off of the coal pile. And I have nothing to warm this back up, so I'm going to have to rely on this lot to finish this. In the meantime,
The work shift starts.
my internet's going to go down again. Oh, Twitch is not happy today. There we go. That's much better. Oh, recording is still running. Right now, got wood and steel here, 2 lots of coal here. We got 10 idle hands at the minute because, well, let's put some people in here. So once we get this back up and running, we can start working on the big old stockpile of raw food we can bring in. Can put 2 people over in here, fill that up. We can start booping. Oh, hang on. Just bring the camera up. Just gently tap on the windows to make these people work faster. Yeah, I think that showed them. Because we need these steam hubs. Like, pretty much yesterday. These kids are chilly. Well, apparently so, but they are working in here, I believe. Ooh, normally this would have an efficiency of 100, or just 100. They got an extra 20% because there's kids running around in them. Normally that would be a bad thing, but not this time around. Oh, and now we can bring in a whole new lot. So, if we bring ourselves down here, I assigned radical treatment. So now we have these 3 options open for us. And we can bring in a care house. So basically if anyone becomes gravely ill, like aside from being treated in the medical posts. Any leftover gravely ill people are going to be kept in the care house, as well as anyone who have amputations because they can't work. People in care houses will only eat like half as much as it says here, but they'll also be much more happy than having to just wander around being unable to help. We can go up here, and if we have a lot of sick to deal with, we can bring in this law, which doubles the effective space in each of the medical posts by putting people on the floor. But people will get annoyed while there are people on the floor. We can do that. So, by using the power of stew, we can make people heal even faster. I love this law. I'm going to sign it straight away. It's very useful.
A new law has passed.
So, for instance, we have a look at these 5 people. They have about 7 odd hours to go. If I boop this button, I can just dump 10 rations on their faces and they'll start healing up even faster. But right now, these workers and the single child aren't affecting the productivity of any places around here. So I'm gonna hold off on doing that for now. What I won't hold off on is sorting out heaters. We have the option of setting up coal thumpers, which bring in a constant source of coal, sawmills, which can chop down trees, and this, which means we can plot these on top of deposits and start making a constant supply of steel. But we have 40 at the moment. We have nothing left to do in it. I am going to start working on the heaters here, because with these 5 idle hands, they can start building up their steam hub. So these things are like little mini generators that piggyback off of this main generator. So we're going to plop one in, and we're going to plop one out here-ish. Ideally, we don't want these areas to overlap with the main heat generator, because if they're sitting in between, for buildings between 2 heat zones, they're not going to get any bonuses from it. So what I'm going to do here is scrap that, get all the 10 steel back from it, build a road running up this way, then go back into tech, get this thingy, and there's 1 house left, so I'm going to build up another road. Oh, hang on. Get the 2 wood for trying to build that street. Oh no, I want to build a road up here. And whack this hub down here to heat all these houses up. And I would like a second one here-ish. There. Can you get some more food too? No. Internet is back up again. Hopefully it stays back up this time. How much of the stream did you miss so far, Reynald? Because I've been going for about 7 more minutes. Get a live alert. With how my internet's been right now, the stream manager is working as a pretty reliable alert, because it just goes down from like a gentle breeze. Here we go. So anyway, these people are going to work on this little steam hub. It's like a little tiny generator. Look at it. It's so cute. And once this finishes building, eventually, come on guys. Oh, smoke's in the way. There we go, that's going to finish up building. And all these houses in range are going to become chilly, as opposed to bloody cold. And most of all, this steel wreckage here is, if I check the heating, that's going to go up to cold as well. So if I was desperate for steel right now, which I might be, now I can just plop some people on that. Some of these 5. You know what, I'm going to do it. There we go. We have a solid medical capacity at the moment. We have only one person who's sick and isn't able to fit into a medical post. But we're going to have room in about an hour for him. And with that, we've got a heater set up. And so with this research, immediately, oh, if we cancel this, get all 20 steel back from that. So with heaters, every single building of note, like the gathering post here, every single one of them now have a heater installed. So just click this button. It is now chilly to work in here. So we boop this here. This cookhouse can now start cooking food again. And this lot can start looking at bringing us some wood. We have some coal piles here and a decent stockpile. So, and once we put one of these down, it's only going to be a chilly workplace. So we don't need coal production at the minute. We have... we're slowly running out of wood around here-ish. And if we just check, we have about 70 left here. Spin the camera around. And that's it for our deposits. For our just random bits of wood lying about. So, I want to go in it, start building up a sawmill. Researching that. Go. And why are these people annoyed? Because it's cold at home. Yes. Well, shouldn't be too cold for long.
Workday ends. It's time off.
There we go. And another good thing about these little heater inputs, they only run while there's people working inside of it. So now it's off time, the heater's turned off because there's nobody using it. Same goes for this one. And these also stack with both the generator and any steam hubs that are sitting next to it. So if one of these had a heater on, we could boot the heater and turning up to livable. We could do it here as well. How are these guys doing? Oh, there's only 4. You'll be fine. Hopefully they won't all get sick again. It's something else. Right now, everyone is off now. We are 1 steel away from making a friggin' beacon. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. You have work for another 3 hours. Oh, it's nice to have you hanging out for a little bit. It's very nice to have you here. Damn it. With this just one bit of steel. Like, we can't put down the... Oh, let's find it again. Tech, beacon, there we go. We can't put this down so people can't start work on it until the morning. And that's going to slow it down a fair bit. But anyway, there's not much else I can do for now. So let's speed up for day. Into day number 5. All that lot's gonna run away and start hunting for food. A lot more people are gonna get sick. And we have not very much coal left. Alrighty. Next objective, we're going to build up a gathering post and stick it down right here. Oh, hang on. I want to build a street out to it first from this house. Bring it all the way up there. Gathering post. Street. Right next to it. And anyone who happens to be awake right now, they're going to run off and build it. Lots more people are going to get sick, but they should be alright.
The work shift starts.
Now we need 10 more people to fit in there. We have 30 steel now. We need 35 to make beacon. We're going to leave them there for now. This lot, we need 2 to fill up from that. Going to pop them in there. 30% efficiency if we check economy again. Oh, that's not good. I guess really not good. Let's shift some more people in there. It's a big old balancing act, this game. Like a really difficult balancing act. But fortunately, at the start of day 6 tomorrow, the temperature's going to have to go up, which means we can start switching some of these heaters off, and we don't have to worry about as much coal usage. Alright, gonna wait for 35 steel. We have more than enough wood for it. Come on. There we go. And the second that's done, we're taking everyone off of there. And we're going to build up the beacon. People don't need to work in here, so we can just plop it down right there. Pick up a street and run it right up. And now we have no more steel. And we're slowly running out of wood. And we have 5 people here. Let's fill this up. And put the rest back in here. And this lot are gonna almost finish off the sawmill. 98, 99, 100%. And the sawmill, how it works, just 10 wood, we plop it down next to some of these big old trees, and they'll start picking up wood from them. So once we run out these 2 deposits, we can plop the sawmill down probably somewhere around here. We can put it in the middle of the trees, but we will lose those resources, unfortunately. So we could just stick it dead center, like right there, but lose all the trees in the middle. save that for now because I want to go back into tech. And we can research the next tier of technology for 50 wood. That's not fun. We do need to start upping coal production. And also steel at some stage. This only needs wood, however, so let's start working on the coal thumpers. Right, how are we doing on sick? We have 5 waiting to be treated and 5 currently in treatment. What I'm going to do, that's what I saved the extra rations for. This lot I have about 7 hours left. If I boop this button, 17 hours goes down to 11. And you just stick a chicken leg in your face and you're good to go. Like, I assume, I say chicken legs, but can chickens really survive in this temperature? I'm going to say yes. Oh. These wood crates are gone. That is almost gone. That, well, one pro from those wood crates getting rid of them is that the 8 people working through here, their efforts are going to be divided between just these 2 areas now, as opposed to 3 things. So we should be able to eat these up fairly quickly. This will last us a day and a bit. My next plan is to start working on steelworks. This will need 10 wood, because the next tier of tech needs 50 wood. Oh, that's the wrong button. There we go. Oh, we're working on coal grabbing. How are you doing in here? Oh, I just noticed. You lot don't have any food left to do. We can switch the heater off, stop you working in there, and save a little bit on coal. So if we check economy now, we are now in the green. Once more. Fantabulous. You are still running. Now, a really good function of these things is that if you've got one of these steam hubs next to a bunch of workplaces, you can set it to only run during the workday. And when that workday ends, this will immediately turn off as everyone starts filtering out into the cold. And talking about the end of the workday, this is almost done. We need to scrounge 5 people from somewhere.
Workday ends. It's off time.
And get a bit more wood, I believe. Oh, I'm offline again. Yep, that's me, net fallen over. For the 4th time this stream. Another network error. Oh, and we're back. Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness, Virgin. What are you doing? Nope. My OBS is still running. My stream manager has fallen over. Come on, baby. You can do it. No, you cannot. My goodness. So, for those of you watching the VOD, we have finally finished the beacon. It is marvellous and brilliant, and I forgot to record it. I really need to start developing that habit again. But we don't need to worry about that for now. Let's just speed along until morning. Or we would do, but the Book of Laws has opened up again. And having signed extra rations for the ill, we can now sort out a triage. Basically, if we have a lot of medical posts with a lot of sick people in them, we can just press this button to instantly heal half of them and get them back to work, at the cost of a quarter of them who will immediately die. Or we can start work on the care house. This costs 25 wood and 5 steel. We don't really have that at the moment. Or we can start up a cemetery. Or corpse disposal, so any dead people we find out that happen to turn up, we can choose to put them in a nice cemetery or in a park somewhere. You're still here, Rushdown. Ah, that's nice to hear. I am tempted to go for corpse disposal purely because this little law here, organ transplants, that gives a massive bonus to care houses, to the medical posts actually, and that is going to be really helpful, like going forwards. Just a free like 30% boost to them, but at the cost of having to put everyone into a pit of snow. I'm going to go with the cemetery.
Hear me. New law in the city.
Hope is going to skyrocket. And we have to build. We have to allocate a place to put the dead. I'm thinking, right there, never mind. There's no place to put them. We have, but it's okay, we've got about 3 days left to figure out where to put them. But in the meantime, as we approach the dawn of day 6, at 7 o'clock on the dot, the temperature is going to drop by 10 degrees to -30. Everyone's going to be a bit more happier because they're not as cold anymore. And like really happier. But with the minor concern of the temperature dropping again in a few days' time. Now that the temperature's dropped, this place is now livable. This little cookhouse here is going to be fine to work without a heater, as is. If we quickly check. We can afford to turn off the heater here and here. We need this to keep running because everyone is sleeping in there, and would rather they didn't freeze to death in their own homes. And with that, we finished off the coal farm plan. And because we don't have much in the way of wood, we have to start working on the steelworks. And with that, we really do need people to start picking up wood. And I mean, get all hands on deck picking up wood. So I'm going to allocate some engineers over to sort that out. We don't have much. We only have this one resource left to research, So unfortunately, if we don't get enough wood by the time that finishes, and we're going to be in a bit of a sticky spot. Fortunately, we only need 10 wood to set up a sawmill, which we have right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get this in a good spot, about say here-ish. I want it here because it's catching a little bit off the edge, but I'm putting this here in preparation for an upgrade to it that'll come about when we get more wood in and we're going to start upgrades again. So people here, I'm going to do a little trick. I'm going to unassign them from this building, then immediately reassign them. And because they left the building, their immediate priority is going to be to run over and start building that. And I'm going to unassign 2 people from here, let time run for a little bit, and put them back in. They're all going to run over and build that. Do I have enough wood to build this? No, I need 6. 4, 5, 6. That's all ready. We have 7 sick right now. I may need to invest in another medical post. No issues, no issues. Wait, why are you 2 sitting in here? Piss off. Yeah, these are the patients. What are you 2 doing in here? Must be finishing up treatment. Once we get this up and running, that's going to be bringing in a lot of more wood. You can't run because you don't have any food, because these guys aren't bringing in more food because they've bought in their load for the day. Because you're done, you can start building this up. You lot can start working in there, because I thought you wouldn't bother, you'd finish that up before coming back here. Evidently not. Come on. With that, steelworks are finished. If we check the tech tree, we have nothing left to research on tier 1. So this is going to have to switch off for the day. And this really needs to be sorted out. This lot are doing just fine. They're putting up a nice old coal stockpile. And talking about the coal use, these little things, as they run, they eat 3 coal per hour. If we run over here, the little in-building heaters only need 1 per hour. And because we've got a lot of coal coming in, I think I'm going to have to turn these on to start sorting out our sickness problem. Because we're getting a lot of sick in. So much so we're going to put another one of those down.
Time to rest, folks. Work's out today.
Oh, and with that, we have another law we can bring in. So if we run over here, we sign this. Every time somebody dies, well,
Listen, everyone. New law is signed.
every time somebody dies, hope falls just a little bit. With the law we just brought in, that hope will fall just a little bit less once we finish building the thing. And now that's finished. We have 8 engineers ready to fly in. Now we can take some people out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. Leave the 8 in here to pick up all this. Actually, put some of those people in here to start picking up some wood. Gonna turn the heating on in here as well, because once that's gonna finish up, we need all these engineers in. Start sorting that out. And with that, I believe there's not much else we can do today. But apart from nick someone from here. Oh no, never mind. I was thinking that we'd have to refill that, but there's already 2 people in there. There's nobody in here, but that's fine because it's switched off. Wish there's 5 people here free to work in here, but alas there isn't. They don't have anything to do anyway. And once this finishes, less than an hour, that's going to open up. We can put people in there. Start treating the extra 5 sick. And because the heating is up and running again, we're going to have less sick coming in. That's less on these to deal with. You have 22 hours left. Check economy. We're at a slight deficit, unfortunately. So even this gathering hut isn't enough. Got 2 more sick turned up today. That's slowly going to fall during the day, but that's going to start slowly going up. That should vanish as we start getting coal brought in. I think I'm gonna have to try and save a bit of coal here, because once everyone gets up for the morning, they're all going to leave their homes and go to wherever they need to be. And once that's all done, at stroke of 8, everyone's going to leave their little tents.
Time to get to work.
And I'm going to be sneaky and turn this off during the day. Save a bit of coal, and, well, shouldn't anyone being in it. Shouldn't be anyone in here. Apart from the people resting after the hunt. Whoops. I'm sure they'll be fine. With that, we can switch this back on. Start working on food production. You're gonna start picking up a lot of more wood. We're already coming up to 50 again. So I need to find some engineers. Where are these engineers hiding? There's 5 in there. Alright, gonna wait for that to hit 50. There it is. Gonna take them off here. Reopen this place. Bring the engineers in. And straight up to 100%. And with that, I'm going to research drawing boards. And we're out of wood again. And we've lost a coal pile from here. Oh dear. eventually, these two spots are gonna fall out. And it would seem my internet has fallen over once again. So honestly, I think I'm going to have to leave it here. I cannot stream with this bad an internet connection. So for those of you watching the VOD, thank you very much for watching, and have a very pleasant night. Good night.